All right, so this is going to be the official week 1 of learning the tarot deck. So let's dive right in. We're going to start with the minor arcana and we're going to start with swords. This first week, we're going to learn through ace through 3 of swords. So, how we're going to start the memorization of what each card means is first we're going to interpret the image. This is going to be able to help you memorize what each card is by connecting it to the image. Then we're going to go into the general meaning, the career finance aspect, and then the love and relationships. Obviously, there is topics you can cover outside of these, but this just gives you the foundation knowledge of what this card could mean. If you're getting a question outside of the scope of these topics, you can think about, well, in this, it means this. And in this context, using that intuition and building your psychic ability, you'll be able to answer questions outside of this scope. So, like I said, we're going to start with swords. So, swords is connected with air. The zodiac sign related to swords are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The theme throughout swords is thoughts, inspirations, ideas, and conversations. So when you see swords, it's intellectual thought processes. So whatever the message is has to do with a thought, an idea, anything that happens with the brain. So to start with that Ace of Swords, we see that hand coming out of the cloud, holding the sword, and there is a crown sitting on top with some garland. There seems to be some gold, like water coming out of rain, coming out of the clouds. In the background, you see some hilly mountains, some water. So aces always, always, always mean new beginnings. Swords, again, represents that new thought and new inspirations coming in. That is what Aces of Swords means. This would be a good time to recommend writing down ideas. Aces of Swords also can be linked to overseas. So, overseas communication, overseas learning, travel, conversations about overseas and what is happening there, anything overseas. You could also be talking about ordering something from overseas as well. For career, so that fog writer's block mentality that you've been having is going to be lifted. Ideas you need to move forward in your career are going to start coming. You will have the mental strength to get through it. For the finances idea, you're going to have new ideas on to move forward and to grow that income. For love in a relationship, you're getting clear about what you want in conversations. So that could mean that you're actually having healthy conversations with your partner about how to heal, how to move forward, how to get to your next step. Whatever you're doing, you're having a healthy new conversations about it. And these conversations are going to be very clear and very purposeful. And this could also mean that you might be planning something with your partner. So maybe you're talking about getting married and starting that new chapter, having a baby, you're planning an event or a trip, whatever this new idea is. For singles, you're going to start understanding why relationships haven't worked. You're going to start that maturing journey. So now we're going to talk about the Two of Swords. So if we're looking at the image, we see a woman who is sitting on a beach with water behind her and a crescent moon. She's sitting on a bench. She's blindfolded and she's holding two swords crossing her chest. The moon represents your unconscious and the water represents your emotions. So the general meaning behind the Two of Swords is this person could be dealing with a lot of mental confusion. They could feel blinded by fear and anxiety. It's important to remind them that you know what's right. It's okay to calm down and do what your gut knows. The biggest thing with this card is that they're feeling blinded by their thoughts, by their fear and anxiety. All of that is your cognitive thought process. And that is what's stopping them from knowing what decision to go with. Now, moving into the career and finances, there is an important decision regarding something that is either your job or a decision like buying a house or a car, like a big financial decision. It's going to be important to make sure you back up the reasonings why this might be a good thing, maybe make a pro con list, get some insight on what's going on, asking around, doing your research, gaining knowledge. Once you've made whatever decision that you're feeling blinded and causing this anxiety and fear, you're going to feel that relief. When we're talking about love in a relationship, it's going to be important to withdraw a little bit to understand why you're having these sudden thoughts of fear and anxiety, along with whatever decisions you're making as a pair. Do some self reflecting on why this decision is making you feel the way you're feeling. Singles, this can indicate that a love interest who is hesitant or in a transitional phase could be representing an inner conflict of yourself. So this could represent I have a love interest. They're just not really interested in me yet. They might be you might be younger, so they're a little immature. They're not ready to settle down, but you might be. This could also be an inner conflict with yourself, meaning that you've had some past trauma and you're just not sure if it's the right time to move on or if this is even the right person, if you're good at picking people. Like there's some internal conflicts with this decision of why you are single. The card can suggest that you need to find balance before entering a new relationship. So really get down to the is this person just finally caving to be in a relationship with me because I've been pestering with them and I've been going at it, like insistent on dating? Or am I finally healing my past traumas so that I don't bring it to my new relationships? So this image may be a little scary, but it is a good card. All cards have a positive turnaround if you allow it to. So the Three of Swords shows that heart stabbed with three swords with the clouds in the background. So the general meaning of this is there is a lot of grief and disappointment, heartache, or loss that you're dealing with right now. This could be like a loss of a loved one. This could just be simple as a plan that you've had or a goal you haven't met it yet, or a plan you've wanted to have didn't quite pan out the way you wanted it to. It's important to remind your clients to allow themselves time to separate from this cause of grief and to heal themselves. Meaning, so let's just say if they did have that loss of a loved one, it's okay to maybe separate yourself from right now, meaning like when you're at work not engaging with a whole lot of conversation. It's okay to separate from people. It will be important to remind them that you will get through this. You're just healing in your own way. Um, and you can't take care of anyone else until you take care of yourself first. So, now talking about career and finance. Again, there's that disappointment in your career and financial situation, meaning that maybe you didn't get the job, maybe you were fired, maybe it's taking longer to save up for that thing you wanted, or you feel like you just can't get out of the slump of the income you're currently bringing in. Even though these are not deaths in the sense, it is okay to allow yourself to grieve off of disappointment. If we're talking about now relationships, again, a lot of loss and disappointment. This could be a mutual communal loss, like you both lost a family member, you both lost a child, you both lost an animal, you both got rejected by the bank for a house. Like there's a communal loss. Um, It's important to note that the pain will pass of whatever loss this was, and leaning on each other can help get through this disappointment and loss. For singles, you are currently still in a phase of recent or lingering feelings of a lost or past relationship. You also might be just experiencing consistent disappointment when dating. It's again, this will pass. Maybe doing some inner work to figure out how to heal, how to allow those lingering feelings to be gone before entering a new relationship. So, how it's going to work for practicing is for the first couple weeks, I'm only going to be showing you one card. Once you have finished at least the swords, then we will get into multiple card readings, practices to continue that past knowledge repetition as well. So, you will be given a situation, you can pause it, and then unpause, and we will go over my answer, how I would answer. Of course, your answer will not be 100% the same. Use your best judgment for how you would respond. It's just the general idea of what you picked up based off of that card. So, the first situation is a woman comes to you and says, I haven't been happy at my job. Should I leave? Pause to answer. Yes, you will be given a sign or direct inspiration soon on what your next move could be. This could be looking into finding a new job and finding one that fits your needs, or a situation may happen to where it becomes very clear on what you need to do. A man comes in and wants to know, why aren't my relationships working? Pause to answer. You may be experiencing some internal conflicts of what you want out of a relationships. You are feeling blinded by your fears and anxiety from past relationships, causing you to maybe have too high of expectations. Write down your absolute deal breakers and wants, releasing some of that pressure and will make you feel better. Young woman comes in and says, I have been feeling so lost. What did the card say? Pause to answer. You have been dealing with lots of grief lately. This could be a loss of a loved one, or even a goal, or even a plan you had recently said goodbye to. Understand that the universe has a plan, and this pain will pass, and you can find the strength to move forward. So, congratulations, you have completed week 1, Ace through 3 of Swords. So, next, what you can do is review the slides. There it will be a PDF version in this lesson. You can practice with some flashcards. And then there will be situation practices, more of them. And then there will be a little test at the end of this lesson as well. I hope you enjoyed learning about tarot. Thank you so much.